What's going on, guys? Coach Joe here at the Lions Den with my trusty handyman.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Mamma.
So, Coach Matt, how many times have you Olympic lifted in your lifespan?
We got a grand total of 0 right now.
Okay, so we thought it'd be cool if we put together kind of like a clean and jerk tutorial with someone who's never done it before. So you guys are just learning it as he's learning it. I'm gonna give you guys some basic cues and we're gonna dive on into it. So if you wanna improve your clean and jerk for the first time or just get some tips, this is the video for you. Let's go. All right, so just a little bit of background on myself, guys. I competed in Olympic lifting for a couple of years. I have snatched about 345, 345, and in kilos it's about 152, 155-ish. I've clean and jerked 415, so that's about 185, 190-ish if I know kilos, but I don't actually know kilos. So that's kind of just the background information. Matt's competitive strongman athlete, just got back from nationals, and just wants to learn some new things, and I think kind of just understanding the basic pattern of this movement will help in strength sports and give you guys a little bit of background and feedback. Now, Matt has already done some mobility work, okay? But if you want further information on that stuff, I'll put a link right up here that'll help you with some basic drills to get you warmed up and kind of hop right into what we're doing. But I want to get right to it, not waste too much time. Oh, and then fast. Yeah, there you go, good. So the first thing that we are going to do is kind of go over the setup for the clean and jerk, right? So all I'm gonna have Matt do is just step up to the bar. He's gonna keep his feet about hip width apart. And we're gonna have his toes about 10 to 20 degrees outwards slightly. So the biggest difference with the clean versus the deadlift is that the deadlift is just gonna be a hinge motion, where the clean we're actually gonna jump. So the setup's gonna be slightly different here. So all I'm gonna have Matt do is just put his hands on the bar. The barbell should be cutting his foot in half, a little bit closer probably towards the balls of the feet than it will be actually his shins. And I'm gonna have him keep that curve in his lower back. And the difference here is his knees can actually come forward a little bit more. So like go into your deadlift setup, Matt. So if you watch his deadlift setup, you'll see the difference of where his hips are in relation to the barbell as well as his knees and his shins. Then go back down to your clean setup. So in the clean, his knees are gonna be slightly forward. And what I want Matt to actually do is lean a little bit more forward and have your shoulders over the bar. Good, drop your butt slightly. Keep your gaze looking straight forward at the camera while maintaining that curve in the lower back. Awesome. And his hands are gonna be a little bit wider too. So he's gonna bump them about half a fist width out off of his shins to the barbell. And the reason we wanna do that is when we transfer over to the proper front rack position, that's just gonna help get the bar there and be nice and comfortable. So eyes are forward, we have that curve in the back. Hands are gonna be a little bit wider than typical deadlift position. Shoulders are slightly over the bar. Knees are slightly bending forward. Cool. And then what we want to make sure he's doing is keeping his whole foot on the ground. So we don't want him to be in his heels too much or in his toes. And that's pretty much the setup. Now the only thing that I haven't mentioned yet is the grip on the barbell, and Matt is using a hook grip. So if you guys don't know what a hook grip is, make sure you check that out and look into it. And if you want to be pulling some big weight in the Olympic lifts, clean, jerk, or snatch, you're going to have to switch over to the hook grip because that's just going to give you the best grip possible for that movement. Position 1, good. So just be legs pushing away. Position 2. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop right into some different position drills that are gonna help give him a nice smooth bar path. And there are different variations on how to do this and different styles of lifting. Like you have people who bang it off their hips, off their thighs. You have triple extension, which is more like a brush up the body. And all I wanna do today is give you guys just the basic bar path. And then once you guys are comfortable, you're gonna develop your own style and method of how you can do this to become as efficient and effective as possible. So we're just gonna stick to the basics just so that it's safe, you can train with it, and then later on you can kind of make it mold more towards your body and your preferred style. So Matt's gonna get back into his setup here. Looking good, looking good. I like it. And all we're gonna do is just get into position 1 is what I call it. It's gonna be about 2 to 3 inches off the ground. And all he's gonna do is press the platform away with him using his legs. His back angle is gonna stay the same. And we're gonna come up, we're just gonna pause and hold it there. Now we wanna keep our gaze a little bit higher up, and there you go, just like that. And then we're gonna go back down. Good. So all Matt's trying to do is just push the floor away, keeping his foot completely on the ground, almost as if the ground was a leg press and he's just pushing away. So let's do that again. We're gonna go up and pause. Good, down. Nice, just reset, just constantly working on that good setup. Last one, up and down. Good, nice. From there, we're gonna go to position 2. So position 2 is gonna be right at the knee. So he's just gonna stand up, and in this position, what we're focusing on is a little bit more weight distribution back into the heels. So he's gonna feel his hamstrings and his glutes, and we also want his shoulders to be a little bit more over the bar at this point. So we're gonna do 3 times of just him going from position 1 to then position 2, feeling the transfer into his heels slightly, and shoulders staying over the bar. All right, Matt, let's see what we got here. So getting your setup, good, eyes are up. We're gonna go position 1, hold, good. Now drive up to position 2. We're gonna keep those shoulders over the bar. We're gonna keep your knees a little bit back more. Hamstrings, you feel the hamstrings now?
There it is, yeah.
Yeah, good, and then go back down. Nice. So let's go up position 1, pause. Position 2, hamstrings back in the heels a little bit, good, eyes are forward. He's gonna be pulling that bar into his body, shoulders are slightly over the bar, that's what we're looking for. Good, back down. We'll do one more. So position 1, position 2, good, and down. Nice. So honestly, by the end of this match, you'd be really feeling his hamstrings kind of burning up a little bit. You kind of feel that, like he's sweating. I see some sweat. It's a lot harder than it looks. And the other thing that I like about Matt, what he's doing with his hands, is he's keeping his knuckles pressed down versus letting them roll forward. So that's something you guys are gonna pay attention to, is keeping your knuckles down, which is gonna let you engage the lats more and kind of pulling that bar in your body, keeping a nice smooth bar path. Because all we're trying to do here is manipulate momentum, and we gotta keep a nice, perfect bar path. All right, so Matt's gonna go back down. We're gonna go position 1 to 2, and then we're gonna go to the high hip, okay, which is gonna be position 3. So we wanna be in this position right here, and we're gonna hold that, and we're gonna go through that a couple times, and then we'll start initiating the jump, shrug, and catch after. All right, position 1, good. So just be legs pushing away. Position 2, hamstrings, good. And then we're gonna go up to the top of the hip, position 3, where he's gonna lean more forward, good, over the bar, just like that. And then back down, position 2, just at the knee, good, down to position 1, and then down. Good, nice. So all I'll say for Matt is in position 3, we just want to kind of have it in the middle of our quad, or almost to our hips, and just still leaning forward. All right, so we'll go back. Knuckles are staying down, which is good, I like. Let's go position 1, good, position 2, good, position 3, just like that, eyes are forward, good, back down, good, down, and down to the ground. Good, nice. Now we're gonna end with the power position is what we call it. So after he's at position 3, we're just gonna come up and we're gonna be right here. So what this is gonna actually signal is kind of the double knee bend that we get into for that triple extension. So we're gonna be right here. He's gonna have his shoulders back, his chest up, and then we're gonna start working some jump, shrug, and catch drills so that he's not muscling the bar, but he's actually using the jump and the shrug of his traps to kind of get the bar to just naturally flow there rather than forcing it. All right? So let's go through really quick. Reps is the secret ingredient. So let's go up to position 1. Good, position 2. Good, up to 3. So leaning over that bar. Yeah, there you go. And then all the way stand up to the power position. Good, so have your knees out, chest through. Good. Now all I want Matt to do is from this position is just jump and shrug, letting his traps do the work. So when I say jump, shrug, just literally jump and shrug your traps up with the barbell. We'll do it 3 times. Ready, go. Good, nice. 1, ready, go. 2, good, last one, and go. Good, perfect, just like that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back down to, from the power position, we're gonna do jump, shrug, catch. Then we're gonna go down position 2, keeping the bar tight, jump, shrug, catch. Then we're gonna go all the way back down to position 3, jump, shrug, catch. And then we're gonna start finishing with our elbows getting underneath the bar into the front rack. Good, that's it, so knees are out, chest is through. So all I'm gonna have him do is jump, shrug, catch in the front rack. He's gonna pause, and we're just gonna go over a couple tips in the front rack position. Ready? And go. Good, there you go, you stand up, nice. Cool. So in this position, what we want to make sure that he's doing is keeping it behind his shoulder and almost on top of his collarbone, pressing back into his throat slightly. What you'll see a lot of people do is, Matt, if you can, just hold the bar normally like they would catch it here. They're gonna catch it here, which is typically gonna keep us, the weight distribution falling forward, and it's not gonna be the best position for us to be in. So we wanna make sure that we can get it into our fingertips. Preferably, the better you get, you'll be able to keep a close grip because you're gonna just be doing it so much that your mobility will get better in this position. But what I want him to do is put it into his front rack position and just make sure that he can perform a front squat. So can you do a front squat? Good, up. So that seems like a pretty decent position for him, and that's where we're looking to catch it. You can bring the bar down. Now, like I said, Matt right now is in his fingertips. That's fine. This is his first time doing it since he was a baby, okay? So the more he does it, the better he'll be able to have his whole hand around it for more stability and just be able to control the bar more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a couple more just from the power. So we'll jump, shrug, catch. He's gonna bring it back down. We'll do like 2, then we'll go back down, position, or the high up mid thigh, and then we'll go down to position 2, do 2 there, and then we'll go down, do 2 from the ground, and then we'll go all the way back down to the bottom, and we'll start working in full power cleans and transition into a full squat clean. Good, all right, so we'll just do 2 here, whenever you're ready. Good, up, there you go. We'll just power clean it for now, so you don't have to go all the way down. So just catch it, yeah, soft knees. Ready? Go. Good, nice, good job. Good. Cool. And then we'll do from right at the knee. Okay, so shoulders are gonna stay more over the bar, gonna feel it more in his hamstrings. Good, shoulders over the bar, a little bit more, there you go, good. Now feel it come up your thighs, jump, shrug, catch. Good, nice, good job, just like that. Good, yeah. We'll do one more. Over the bar, good. Jump, shrug, catch. Good. There you go, nice, good job. And a little rest, and then the next one we'll do will just be from about 1 inch or so off the ground, and then we'll do 2 there, and then we'll kind of start putting it all together and transition them right into a full depth squat clean. That's sweating, panting heavily. Good, nice, just like that, perfect. Good, plant those feet hard so they're just a mid-foot, not on our toes or heels. It's all right, he's doing good. Gonna give this man some credit. It's his first time stepping up and doing it. He looks great. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start from the ground. Now when I start from the ground, I kinda like to use voice inflection to signal the speed of the bar. A lot of people literally just grip it and rip it from the floor, and that's where we get a lot of problems. So what I want Matt to do is he's gonna start off slow and he's gonna build up fast. So when he's pulling, we wanna make sure that it stays close to his body. He's not jerking the bar off the ground or anything like that, just as we have practiced. And as he clears each position is when he's going to pick up the speed of the bar. Because typically, once they clear the knees and I can see the bars coming up their thigh, they're in the clear to go for it and kind of just unleash the beast and get into that, that catch position. So he's going to do the same thing from the ground. We're going to do a couple reps like this, and then once he catches the bar, I'm going to have him drop a little lower each time. So we'll do about 3. So the first one's gonna be power clean. Second one, you're gonna catch, but I want you to drop a little lower. And then the third one, we're gonna try to get into a full squat clean. All right. All right, ready? So nice, smooth, and speed up. There you go, good, nice. Just like that. So just think of the checkpoints as you're going through each position. So we're gonna go a little bit lower. Good, there you go. Nice. So you can see Matt's feet start hip width and they actually jump out because he's jumping. That's supposed to happen. Your feet should be getting wider in the catch. Now he's gonna go all the way for his squat clean. Nice, good job. Fist bump. Everyone be clapping at your computer because this man is going to the Olympics. Just perform the Olympic clean. You like it? Awesome. So what are you feeling right now?
Sweaty.
Sweaty? Does it feel like different or awkward or anything? Or?
Oh, it's just awkward right now. It's like thinking a lot of cues at once.
Biggest thing is just try to keep it simple. So just focus on the biggest issue that needs to be addressed, especially if you're a coach or you're learning for the first time. It's an Olympic level lift, so you have to remember there are a lot of minute intricacies to this, so just focus on the big thing that stands out. So right now for me, I'm just making sure that Matt's hitting the positions correctly, that the bar is staying close to his body. That's pretty much it. Those are the biggest things in my mind, and then as he gets better and progresses, then we focus on another set of cues or details that we want. So so that's pretty much just the clean portion of it. And the next thing we're gonna do is kind of cover the dip and drive for the push press, the push jerk, and then the split jerk. 2, good, ready, and go. All right guys, so we're gonna be covering specifically the split jerk now. I've made other videos on the press, the push jerk or power jerk, and I'll link those up too. So we're just gonna focus with him on the split. Now the biggest thing you guys want to pay attention to is the whole point of the dip and the drive of the bar. So basically, like I said, we're trying to manipulate momentum here. So when we're in that dip position, most bars are gonna have a lot of whip for Olympic weightlifting, and we're just trying to time the dip with the oscillation of the barbell. So as we dip down, the bar is actually gonna bend and produce force down, and we wanna make sure that we time it correctly when the bar starts to whip back up. So as the bar comes up, that is when we want to punch the jerk overhead. And if we miss that little window, that's why it's a very technical sport, the bar could go anywhere from 1 to 2 times as heavier in terms of feeling of force as the bar is coming down, okay? So that's why you'll see guys when they go up for a big lift, they miss it and they just drop the barbell because they know that the lift's not gonna be there. So Matt already has predetermined what his dominant lead foot is going to be for the split jerk. If you don't know, I do it's kind of a fun test you can do where you just push someone from behind. That's on the video I'll link up here so you guys can watch that, but we know that. So what Matt's going to do is just a basic drill where he's going to put his hands on his hips, and all I'm going to have him do is go for the dip and then into his split jerk position. And what we're looking for is that the front foot is going to be about 1/3 in front of him from midline, and that the back leg is going to be about 2/3 behind. And he's going to do this over and over again just to kind of ingrain it, and I'm going to give him some pointers. So Matt's going to go into his dip position and split. Good. So first thing I noticed is the dip was a little bit too deep, so we're going to decrease the depth of the dip, and then we're going to look at his split. So go about an inch or 2 down, and then explosive split. Better, good, much better. So what I'm seeing is his front foot, we want the shin to be vertical. From this angle, you can see that his knee is a little bit too forward. So I want him to move his foot either slightly out more or just kind of push his weight back, depending on what's more comfortable for him. Okay, so his front foot should almost be pinioned in slightly, and then the back foot should be pinioned in. So we're kind of creating like a kickstand with that back leg. Now from the looks of it, I want him to take his front foot out a little bit wider right there, so I feel a bit more stable.
Yeah.
You got more of a base, and that looks pretty good. So if you've watched the other videos, you can know the chalk drill that I do, where he's basically going to put chalk around his lead foot, his back foot, and his midline, and then he's going to recover. So when he recovers, he wants to make sure that he takes his front foot first, takes a half a step back, and then brings his back leg to meet front foot, and that's going to be the recovery. So what we're going to have him do is just work on this. So he's going to put his hands on his hips. He's going to dip that 1 to 2 inches. So let's dip again. Good, pause. All right, so bring that front foot slightly forward. There you go, good. And then just kind of keep that base, good, front foot, back foot. Good, so dip and go. Good, front foot forward a little bit. There you go, nice, front foot, back foot. So what I want you to do is, on your dip, I want you to explode a little bit more with your hips, open your hips all the way, and then plant the feet fast. I want to hear those feet hit the mat, or the platform. Better, good, good, good. All right, front foot still needs to come a little bit more forward. So the basic issue we're just seeing with Matt here is that his front foot needs to come a little bit more forward. Very typical and common with lifters, because they're just not used to kind of reaching that leg out there for the split, hence why it's called the split jerk. Ready? Dip, go. Much better, good. Now we can see he went right into his strong base there. So we're gonna try to just keep dialing that in. All right, so now all we're gonna do is the same drill now that we have a barbell. So you can see Matt's gonna have his elbows forward, okay? And he's gonna have the bar under his fingertips. And for the dip, so what I want him to do is just kind of go down 1 inch or 2 to just get the proper depth while he's driving his knees out. If we have our knees go forward in the dip, it's gonna bring the bar forward and our body's gonna be put forward. And it's just gonna set us up for not the most efficient press or maybe a missed lift or something like that. So as he's dipping, he's gonna drive his knees out. His butt is almost gonna be pushed back slightly as he goes down, so the bar is gonna stay over midline. I want him to go down. I want him to pause. And when I say go, I want him to go into that split jerk. And then he's gonna pause and we're gonna see where his feet are at and what corrections we can make. Okay, so go down about an inch or two. Good, ready, and go. Good, nice, hold it, hold it. Nice, actually looks pretty good. How do you feel?
Feel like I get a bit more stable.
Okay,
yeah.
Do you need your front leg out more? Like, does that feel better?
Yeah.
All right, cool. It wasn't that bad, honestly. It looked pretty good for the first one. So what I want him to do, focus on this one, he's gonna go down, pause, and I want him to really emphasize the jump and pressing himself underneath of the barbell. All right, so go down, dip, and hold. Ready, go. Good, better. Front foot out more. There you go, nice. How's that feel?
That's better. Yeah, front foot just need to be out.
All right, so let's go down, we'll do one more. So basically, he just has to commit to the jerk and get his front foot out more forward, and it's gonna look a lot better. So let's dip, and go. There you go, that's pretty good. Good, front foot first, back foot, nice, good job. Awesome. Good, bar down. All right, so a common question I get often is, should I have a short, quick, explosive dip like you'll see some lifters do, or should it be a little bit slower? And the answer is whatever works for you and what you like better. It doesn't really matter. I've seen elite level lifters, you know, clean and jerk 500 plus pounds using both. So it's totally up to you and what you feel comfortable doing. I would say the biggest thing is just pay attention to the depth of the dip, because you don't want to go too deep. Once you go too deep, we're gonna have more of a tendency to kind of lose control. The bar is gonna pull us forward, and that's not what we want. So as long as you're keeping a nice controlled front rack position, you're driving the knees out, the bar is staying over midline, whatever you wanna do is fine. So what I'm gonna have Matt do now is just pick it up. He's gonna just do it on his own without any pause in the dip. We're just looking for him to go down an inch or two, and then he's gonna go right to the split, and we're gonna see how the split looks as he recovers. He's got his front rack, elbows are up, eyes are forward. He's gonna take that breath, keeping the nice strong front rack. Good. Front foot, back foot, nice. Let's do another one, just get the front leg out. Good.
Front leg still.
Yeah, last one, and then I want you to pause. I'm just gonna talk about what I'm seeing. Good, all right, so pause. So Matt's main issue is just getting that front leg out a little bit more and keeping that shin vertical, but he's getting better every time, which is awesome. Now, if you pay attention from the side angle, Matt is sticking his head through the window is what we call it, or if he's pushing up that window, his head's going through. He's shrugging his shoulders up so he can keep the barbell nice and secure over top. His ears are in line with his biceps, and he doesn't have the bar forward. So bring the bar forward, Matt, and just show him. We wouldn't be able to maintain this position with heavy weight, and also push it far backwards. This isn't gonna be either, because we're gonna dump the bar backwards. So we wanna keep it right over top, center mass, and that's gonna be easiest for us to recover. So he's gonna do front foot. Oh man. No, I'm just kidding. Matt's had a long day. He's done a lot of split jerks. So let's just go for one more. Right, he's gonna dip. Yeah, that was nice. That was a lot better. Good. Front foot, back foot. Cool, bar down. Nice. Good job, dude. So overall, like, what were you feeling or like thinking like as you were going through the split jerk?
Sweating too much. No, it's that lead foot is kind of committing to getting that one out there.
Yeah.
Even though it's like the only thing I'm thinking about, it's still committing that out there.
Yeah, but you can tell if you don't get it further out enough, like you're gonna probably feel like unstable. Other than that, I mean, I think Matt did a really good job demonstrating the split jerk. So, like I said, there are other videos that you guys can check out on my channel that go over all the steps to getting into the split jerk or the push jerk, the drills that you can do. Matt's already kind of run through those with me off camera, so we can keep this video kind of rolling through so you guys can kind of get the gist of it. And any questions that you guys have, we're just trying to answer them, or common things that we see or with Q, we're trying to give it to you guys now. That's pretty much it for the clean and the jerk. So what I'm gonna have Matt do now is we're just gonna get some video footage of him actually doing the full thing together. This is his first time. He's put it together and he's learned it, and he's doing really well. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this pretty casual how-to video for the clean and jerk. And if you guys like it, give us some feedback down below in the comment sections. on what you thought or questions that you have. Be easy on my boy. Like I said, this is the first time he's ever done it. For the first time, I've coached a lot of athletes. He picked it up pretty quick under the spotlight, literally, of us throwing this together. So, congratulations, man, boy. All right, dude. All right, so we're gonna throw some weight on and see how it goes. So Coach Matt had a couple questions to ask me that maybe some of you guys will find some benefits from. So we are gonna shoot the stuff.
Okay, so first one, I don't know if you guys think like I do. I'm super used from strongman to pressing from this kind of vertical position, and I just talked to Joe about the difference kind of pressing from that vertical position for your presses versus what's happening when it's coming out of the front rack position.
Yeah, so basically the biggest difference is when you're doing a strict press, you want to have control and stability of the barbell, and it's going to be probably not the most efficient to press from this position because you want to utilize your triceps and have them more tucked in and secured in midline. Now when you're doing a jerk, it's different because you're actually explosively getting underneath the bar. So think about just like dropping and catching versus pressing. So whenever I do a jerk or athletes do jerks, they actually don't ever feel the press. It's mostly just catching the weight overhead, and the dip is what's going to cause the separation between them and the barbell. So I think of it as just like trapdoor, kind of just drops underneath your feet. You get under and catch the bar versus ever pressing it. So that's like the main difference, I would say.
Joe was going to ask him, and this is more so for explaining to anyone's thinking about it positionally wise, is why we'd want that more vertical position versus our kind of forward lean for a deadlift position.
Yeah, so when we're deadlifting, we're going to be in a hinge position and we're just going to stand up. And that's the whole point of the movement, just picking something up off the ground, standing up with it. Where with a clean, it's going to be a little bit more athletic and we're actually jumping. So when we jump, we wouldn't jump from this position because it doesn't really make much sense for what we're trying to do. So when we jump, okay, we're kind of almost going to be in like that linebacker position where our torso is going to be up more, and then we're actually going to have the leverage to fully open and extend our hips. So that's kind of why we do it for the clean, is because there is a jump involved with it. And that's why a lot of athletes like to use this movement probably versus, or maybe exercise selection would be, a clean variation versus a deadlift because of the carryover when it comes to jumping or athleticism. In terms of barbells, guys, like I said, you want to find an Olympic lifting bar or a bar with a little bit more whip. I would not recommend doing cleans or snatches with a Ohio power bar or a power bar of any sort. One, because the knurling in the middle is super aggressive and it's just going to cut your throat open. Two, there's no whip in the barbell, so it's a very stiff bar, which is going to make it feel horrible. So you want to stick with an Olympic lifting bar. This isn't, again, faster Olympic weightlifting bar. Rogue has a ton, Eleiko, there's a bunch of other companies out there. It's more of a pricey bar, however, it's definitely worth it, and you'd rather buy once than have a crappy bar and it has some sort of issue and you have to go buy again.
So the next question I'd have is, someone like me, not done the jerk or the clean. Obviously I have Joe right here, so I'm at a bit of an advantage, but for someone that doesn't, have that coach available to them, how they go about, teaching themselves from the bottom up and doing so in a manner where they're not kind of building bad habits.
Yeah, I would say the number one recommendation is get a coach. I think it's definitely worth the money, even if it's just for an hour or 2 hours, and you can learn from someone who has good credentials, has competed in the sport, worked with a lot of athletes, because the worst thing you can do is start teaching yourself the wrong patterns, and it's going to take 2 to 3 times the amount of reps to kind of get yourself back out of that. So if you're learning for the first time, learn it the right way, build yourself up properly, and you're going to be far ahead of other people who don't do that. So it's worth the money. Now, obviously, if you don't have the money, there are plenty of other good resources, videos and YouTube channels and books that you can purchase. You can take videos of yourself, send it to a coach if you can't get FaceTime with somebody, and they can give you a form check, and you can do your best to kind of work on those little cues or critiques that they give you. But my overall goal, or my overall advice would be for you guys to have the goal to work with a coach who's going to be able to help you in person, and I think it's just going to be a lot more beneficial that way. So there you guys have it, kind of closing out this video. Like I said, go check out the other videos. There's plenty that I can link above with all different drills and maybe a different way that you guys can help learn it. We just took Coach Matt, which is really cool of him to just try something he's never has done before, and he did really well with it. So if he continues this, he's just going to keep getting better and better and better, and we gave him kind of a nice foundation and a base here, and then he can just kind of work on the little things that he needs to and use this. You know, you'll see similar movements in strongman competitions, and just learning a push jerk or a split jerk is going to be very efficient when it comes to putting as much weight overhead as possible. And in strength sport that we are in, that's just going to be something that you're going to need to know how to do. So till then, be a lean, mean strength machine. Make sure you go check out Coach Matt's channel, which I will link right here as well. Got tons of great content, awesome dude, and just a wealth of knowledge. So subscribe to this man if you haven't already, and we'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.